Now he's here with the Matadors.
Well, that's going to be a big help for the Matadors. Another body, another athletic young man. And Matadors are getting younger and younger. Gazal, I see Okereke out there, and Herrick, who's a redshirt sophomore. But, you know, you're replacing a sophomore and a senior. So the Matadors are getting younger. And they're going to have to go up against a very veteran team.
Coleman with a toe injury will miss the game probably a couple weeks. At game time, Mark Godfrey told us that Festus is going to try to play. Festus on Demania as the Matadors win the tip. Brown trying to go right down inside. It gets kicked away, and the Matadors retain possession. We've played about 10 seconds here at the Matadome, Allen.
Yeah, Evan Gilliard that time made a nice play. Kind of got his hand and foot on the ball. Very smart by the young man.
So Herrick to Brown to Trigger. Looks like a man look here by New Mexico State, AZ. Darius needs to play well for the Matadors. Left of center, here's three from Herrick. Glances off the rim, deflected away. Hilliard away with it right to left. Hilliard for New Mexico finds McCants. Quick touch for him. They'll rotate it back out. Good ball movement, AZ.
Well, they're going to move the ball, and what they're going to do is try to get downhill if they can.
McCants out of the corner, the three back heel. Tillman, offensive rebound, second chance opportunity. Here's the three, front rim, no. Bounds out, collected by Merck Veladze. Brown ahead to Okereke. I think he was looking for Starks. Here's the three from Starks, front rim, bounds away, and a whistle.
And the Matadors missed their first two three-point shots, open three-pointers. As we mentioned, they need to hit those, and a foul that looks like maybe one of the Matadors.
Merck Veladze with the loose ball foul, his first, and the first foul of the Matadors. No score. We've played about 45 seconds.
If the Matadors are going to have a chance, they want to jump on this Aggie squad early because they have to be rusty. You can't let them hang around early. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble late.
Tillman faced up by Herrick. Now here's the big fella, McNair. This is an intriguing matchup. Couple of big bodies going at each other. Here's Roberts, the kid from Texas, behind the back down the left side of the lane. Bumps into Okereke out of bounds, Matadors basketball.
Well, Matadors did a good job that time sealing off the middle, not allowing him to get all the way to the rim. So good defense that time by the Matadors.
Alan, I mentioned it earlier. Darius Brown really needs to be the leader for the Matadors. He needs to set the Matadors up against this defense as Merck Veladze gets an easy shot, can't finish, but tipped up and in. I think McNair might have tipped that in.
Yeah, McNair did tip it in, and so the Matadors thank him.
Big fella out of Philly. Good basketball in Philadelphia. They go right down to the low block. They'll go right underneath. McNair trying to step through, and he's got to step back and misses everything. Defensive rebound, Merck Veladze for CSUN. 2-0 Matadors. We played about 2 minutes. Starks and Merck Veladze playing catch out high. Roberts squares him up. He's a great on-ball defender. Roberts takes a lot of charges, so Matadors got to be careful around him. Right wing, here's the three from Stark to the left hand. Fighting for the rebound, Okereke collides with Tillman, and a whistle. They're going to get it on Tillman.
Well, the Matadors have taken three three-point shots. None of them have fallen, and that'll be fine for the Aggies. They want the Matadors to take three. The Matadors can't settle for jump shots. It'd be wise if they could attack the rim.
2-0 CSUN, 18:01 to play first half. CSUN basketball. Foul called on Tillman, his first. Donnie Tillman, the transfer from UNLV. Step back, Starks, back iron, no. McNair ahead to Gilliard, weaving. Left-handed dribble. Tillman and Gilliard playing a little bit of catch. Hand off to Roberts for New Mexico State. The swim-through move. Now here's the screen. But resetting is Starks fighting through the screen. Tillman drives against Herrick on the baseline and a whistle.
And right there, that's going to be an athletic mismatch for the Matadors. Tillman is very athletic, very strong, and Herrick is more of a spot-up shooter, very solid defender in regards to team defense, but man-on-man with that very athletic young man, that's going to be a long night for him.
Yeah, limited sample, obviously, just the 2 games for Tillman this year. In 2 games, he's shot 14 free throws, though 10 of 14. New Mexico State, a very good free throw shooting team, and the Matadors don't want history to repeat themselves. First free throw from Tillman bounces off the back iron. Tillman last year shot 75% from the free throw line at UNLV. Second free throw coming for the senior, and he splits the pair, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Matadors. 17.5 to play in the first stanza. Darius weaving, using the screen now. Gets it right of center. Here's three from Merk Veladze. And pay that man his money.
Well, I guess it's about time. You're going to keep shooting threes. Some of them have to fall.
Right of center three for Alex makes it a 5-1 CSUN lead. Gilliard, the schoolboy out of Chicago, Simeon High. Tillman. McCants, the local kid from Las Cruces, pulls the trigger. Front rim off of McNair out of bounds over to CSUN.
Well, if McCants is going to shoot three-point shots, even if he makes one early, the Matadors should be happy. They don't want that big, strong man underneath the basket scoring around the rim, so they probably would prefer McCants taking three-pointers.
Yeah, McCants a 40% shooter from beyond the arc last year. In a limited sample this year, he's just 1 for 4 coming into the ballgame. High post, back to the basket. Merk Veladze gives it back to Darius. Pick and pop action, but he attacks right wing and a whistle offensive foul. And we talked about, was that Roberts? No, that was Gilliard who stepped in and drew the charge. New Mexico State, not only are they really aggressive on defense, they put pressure on you, they're great at sliding in front of the parabola to get the charge.
Well, defense is what they hang their hats on. And the ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this New Mexico State team, what they're going to do is they're going to take up the airspace against the Matadors. They are not going to allow the Matadors to comfortably bring the ball up court, to run their offense comfortably. They're going to make sure that the Matadors feel their presence.
Merk Veladze sits down. Our first look at Festus Andemanya. Andemanya, the 6'10" sophomore from Nigeria, by way of Capo Valley Christian, was not expected to play today. He was a scratch, but I guess he looked okay. Gilliard to the left side, off to McNair, the big fella, and immediately Festus whistled on the foul. McNair goes to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Well, the Matadors right now have 4 team fouls, only 1 on the Aggies, but the Matadors are committing fouls, and sitting down is Merk Veladze. He's got 2 fouls. He's very upset at himself.
First free throw attempt on the year for McNair. He was 7 of 11 last year for the Aggies, and that spins out. McNair played his high school ball at ML King High, finished his last 2 years at Martin Luther King High in Philly, where his head coach was a gentleman named Sean Colson. Colson had a cup of coffee in the NBA, but he was part of that UNC Charlotte team that beat Georgetown back in '97. Fans and media have high hopes for McNair this year as he splits the pair to make it a 5-2 game. Matadors basketball, they lead by 3. On the baseline, Okereke out to Herrick for 3. It's going to be short. Good job by McNair as he boxes out Okereke. It's going to be a good battle down underneath. Up the left side, Evan Gilliard. He'll pull the trigger. Front rim, bounds out, defensive rebound. Darius Brown for CSUN. Darius, middle of the floor. Right corner, 3 for Herrick, short. Matador's really fallen in love with that three-point basket, AZ.
But that's a three-pointer that Herrick's got to take, but he has to make that shot. He's had really 2 really good looks, but he's not been able to hit them.
McCants skips it to Roberts. Now back to Gilliard. Left baseline, they go to McNair. McNair kicks back out left of center. Now right of center, here's 3 from McCants. Wow, and he bangs it down.
Well, you said he was a 40% shooter, so you knew that they were going to fall eventually. The Matadors are fortunate to be tied because they're not shooting very well, and free throws have been taken by the Aggies.
Yeah, Matadors just 2 of 9 from the floor. That was the first field goal make by New Mexico State. Okereke underneath playing a 6'10" man. Look at him go after it, though. Gets the offensive rebound for the Matadors. 5-5, free throw line. 15-footer from Festus Andemanya, back iron, but gathered in by Tillman, racing up the right side. Tillman, the step-through move, can't finish, saves it in by McNair. New Mexico State retains possession, and Andemanya blocks Gilliard's shot. Starks skips it off to the left side. This is Brown trying to lob it into Andemanya, and the Matadors turn it over and will get a break. 15:01 to play in the first half. We're knotted at 5 here at the Matadome. CSUN and New Mexico State are tied. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network. I'm Ghazal, he's Allen. It's a 5-5 game. I want to remind you, game day sponsor today, our good friends at the Airtel Plaza Hotel. New Mexico State and CSUN tied at 5, and the Aggies bring the ball right to left. We get our first look at Wilfred Lakai. McCants playing catch with Gilliard. Tries the move, top of the circle. Left side, McCants. McCants with a crossover, straight to the bucket. Oh, little dipsy-do, reverse layup left to right. Kisses the window and the lead to the Aggies.
How about McCants? I mean, that big man had a nice, strong move, finished beautifully.
In the lane, Darius Brown and a whistle.
McCants can fool you. He's a big man. He looks like he wouldn't be that quick, but he's got good quickness. He has excellent touch around the basket, and he's a smart player. He's one of the team leaders, so the team looks up to him at times like this to get them going, and he got them their first lead of the ball game.
So Gilliard picks up the foul and goes to the bench. C.J. Roberts back. I mentioned Wilfred Lakai, 6'9", redshirt junior from Portland, Oregon, enters the game. Our first look at Vontae Hendricks, top of the circle, 3. No defensive rebound. Comes down to Roberts, right to left for New Mexico State. Roberts moves to the right side. Terminates his dribble. McCants for 3. Yes.
Well, they're camping him out in the corner, and he's knocked down those three-pointers, so now the Matadors are going to have to guard him outside.
That first one must have been a 2 because they only have 10-5 up on the board. Left side Starks for CSUN, working against Kalen Williams. Williams playing his first game for the Aggies. Very explosive on-ball defender. Okereke flings it up. No. Offensive rebound on Demania. 2 and 1. Fortuitous bounce on the play right into Festus's hands, AZ.
As I mentioned, Gazal, the Matadors have to go get inside, and they don't want to get inside and have to face some of the size that the Aggies have, but you're going to have to do that. You can't settle for jump shots. The Aggies are actually contesting the shots. It looks like they're wide open, but you're a step out of your range. They understand what the Matadors do best, and they understand what the Matadors don't do well.
So Tillman back for the Aggies. Tillman, the 6'7" senior. Here's Festus, and the and 1 is good. 10-8 ball game. We have not seen Clayton Henry as of yet. Henry, the 6'4" redshirt senior out of Calgary, Alberta, in the first 2 games had averaged 15.5 for New Mexico State. Wondering if it's an injury situation. McCants lobs it down to Tillman. Tillman being guarded by Hendricks. They put it around to the right side. Right corner, this is Roberts. Drops it right baseline for Tillman. Tillman kicks into the left corner. Attacking underneath is Williams, strong to the basket, scores the goal.
Yeah, they're going to get inside, and even if that shot was missed, they were prepared to get a offensive glass rebound.
12-8 in favor of the Aggies. CSUN basketball. Backdoor lob. Festus catches it, 1 dribble underneath. Steps back, can't finish. Defensive rebound in and out of the hands of McCants. Ball hits the floor hard. It was Miles Brookins, and he gets saddled with the foul, his first, the 5th on the Matadors. So it's Brookins on the floor with Undemania, Hendricks, Brown, and Starks for CSUN. McCants leaves the floor. Our first look at Jason King. King, a 6'5" junior from Birmingham, Alabama, joins Tillman on the floor. With Lakai in the backcourt, it's Roberts and Williams. 12-8 New Mexico State leads. We're under 13 minutes to play first half. Aggies playing their first game since December 1st, their first game, AZ, against D1 competition. And through the lane, attacking is Lakai, and a foul on the Matadors.
Well, right now the Matadors understand that the Aggies aren't going to settle for three-pointers. They're going to attack the rim. If the three-pointers present themselves, then the Aggies will take it. But otherwise, they're saying, look, you don't have a shot blocker. We're going to go to the rim.
Matadors have taken 15 shots, AZ, 7 from the three-point variety. C.J. Roberts inbounding for New Mexico State. Left side, Kalen Williams, his first appearance of the year for the Aggies, the junior college transfer. On the baseline, Tillman attacking Brookins. Here's the pump fake. Brookins got a piece of it. It'll be a held ball. It'll stay with the Aggies.
Well, that was good defense by Brookins that time. He's got a couple of inches on him, so he used his length and not allowing an easy layup attempt.
12-8, New Mexico State on top here in the early going. The Aggies 4 of 12 from the floor. The Matadors 3 of 15. Nothing to write home about so far. Roberts with the inbound. Kalen Williams working against TJ Starks for the Aggies. Left side, this is Tillman. Tillman kicks out to the right side. The three-pointer skips off the back iron. Run down by Starks as Lakai misfires. Matadors down 4 with the ball. Here's Starks all the way down into the lane. Reverses back out, being guarded by Kalen Williams. Brown and Starks with a little bit of an exchange. Starks to his left, the 3. Back iron, bounds up high. Offensive rebound in and out of the hands of Undemania. Trying to save it in is Brookins, but it's New Mexico State with it. Williams off to Roberts. Window, but offensive foul. as Andamania stepped in and drew the charge for CSUN.
Well, the Matadors are very fortunate to get that call. I actually thought that he may have been inside the parabola, but the official was right there.
11:46 to play in the first half. New Mexico State 12, CSUN 8. Back at the Matadome, Gazal and Allen with you. Matadors basketball. Here comes some pressure from the Aggies. So Brookins to inbound. Hendricks in the corner, working against Jason King for New Mexico State, and they'll get it back to Darius. 12-8 New Mexico State on top. Matadors struggling from the floor, but the Aggies are too. They just made a couple more threes, and Hendricks working against King, and a whistle.
Well, the Aggies are making the Matadors start their offense, literally at half court. The Matadors are going to have to try to get the ball a little closer to the top of the key to start their offense. So Darius Brown is going to have to do something to elude his defender so he can get the offense a little closer to the rim.
First foul on King, fifth foul on the Aggies. Brown on the floor. Amon Anderson is checked in, the 6'3" freshman from Lusinger. Here's the leaner from Darius, falls short. Defensive rebound, Donnie Tillman. New Mexico State basketball. Here's Jason King in the right corner. On the baseline, to his left, the big fella, Lakai. Back to King, who lays it up and in.
Once again, you have one team that's able to get to the rim and finish, another team that's just struggling to even get a good open jump shot.
14-8 New Mexico State by 6. Under 11 minutes to play. Andamania gives it off to Hendricks. Vante making his first action to his left on the dribble, trying to get into the corner. Here's the baseline jumper from Anderson, skips over the rim. And Tillman takes the defensive rebound away for the Aggies. Attacking is Roberts. Can't finish on the back end. Now Hendricks left to right for CSUN. Matadors down 6. Vante. Oh, nice find for Anderson, who is dispossessed, but it's a whistle and a foul. I believe they're going to catch Jason King on that.
Well, Hendricks has a right to be rusty, missing shots and maybe throwing some passes away. But the rest of the Matadors are going to have to get it in gear. I'll give credit to the Aggie defense, but right now, the Matadors, they look like the team that's been off for 26 days.
Yeah, the Aggies, we were talking in the pregame, they've not lost in more than a calendar year. Their last loss came on December 14th of last season. So they just expect to win. Anderson with the inbound, fumbled by Darius, who comes up with it. Top of the circle, Alex Merck-Veladze, who's checked back in. Loses the handle, and now Tillman takes it away. Tillman trying to get it away, knocked away by Darius, but recovered by Tillman. Right wing, Kalen Williams, the sophomore from Lakeside High in Georgia. Left-hand dribble into the lane, kicks to the left corner, 3 for Roberts. Yes.
Yeah, they're getting everything they want. Dribble, penetration, kick, open three-pointers with their feet set. And right now the Matadors are just playing a team that's come out more hungry with more desire.
17-8 New Mexico State up by 9. Hendricks to the baseline, back to Merck-Veladze, right wing 3, yes. So Merck-Veladze hits his second tray of the game, and you can tell if you watch Coach Grotfried on the sideline, off to Lakai, who lays it up and in, and Mark Gottfried wants to talk it over.
What happens is when a team takes up your airspace and they don't let you cut freely, they don't let you dribble comfortably, then you start settling. You have to cut harder. You have to be strong with your dribble. You have to do everything with a purpose.
Gilliard and McNair back for New Mexico State. It's Brown, Brookins, Merck-Veladze, Anderson, and Hendricks on the floor for CSUN. Lance Coleman, nice back cut for Hendricks. Excuse me while I dunk this ball. Vante flushes it down.
Well, they ran their offense, and they got a layup or a dunk out of it. That's what you have to do, run your offense.
CSUN down 6, 19-13. Left of center, Gilliard. Here's Lakai. Into the lane, dispossessed by Hendricks. Long pass ahead for Anderson from Brown, who lays it up and in. It was pretty precarious for a minute there, but the young fella got the roll. He's a scorer.
He is a scorer, and the Matadors get a defensive stop, get a turnover, and score out of it.
Another assist for Darius Brown, his second on the evening. 19-15, the Matadors now showing some resistance. Lakai to the right side, right corner, three-pointer skips off the back iron. That was Gilliard on the trigger. Brown pushing for the Matadors. In the lane, Brookins, left hand, yes.
The Matadors now have had a dunk, a layup, 2 layups and a dunk. That's how you get it done.
6-0 run for CSUN over the last 65 seconds. They trim the lead to a bucket. 19-17 New Mexico State. Here's McCants into the lane for McNair. Nice little right-handed hook off the window by the big fella, William McNair, with a bucket.
McNair had nice low post position, squared it up nicely.
Brown quickly back the other way for CSUN. They're going to post up Brookins. Brookins double team. Oh, gets the pass back out, stolen by Gilliard. Going to leave it for McCants, who blows the jam. Back the other way are the Matadors. Here's Anderson strong to the lane. Acrobatic off balance. The ball tipped out into the free throw line. Leaning in off the window. No for Brookins, out of bounds. Over to New Mexico State, and we'll get a break. 7:42 to play in the first half. New Mexico State 21, CSUN 17.
Oh, I would not want to be Gilliard in this timeout. He threw the ball off the backboard for a spectacular slam dunk, and it didn't go down. And boy, coach is going to have a fit, I think.
Back to action, CSUN basketball. Matadors trail by 4. Here's the shot from Starks. Good position by Brookins, but McNair hustling for it. Ball still loose on the floor. Massive humanity. Held ball will go to CSUN.
How about Brookins diving on the floor to between two Aggies to tie it up, and now the Matadors own the possession arrow.
Aggies 21, CSUN 17. Matadors are struggling from the floor, but they did get a little spurt earlier. They went on a 6-0 run to close the gap. Left of center, Hendricks. Merk-Veladze mishandles it, but run down by Starks for CSUN. Here's Vontae, steps into the 3. Karam's off the backboard, defensive rebound, McCants. Ahead to Gilliard, and a whistle. They're going to call a foul on Starks.
Yeah, the Matadors right now, once again, settling for three-point shots, and not a bucket for Starks. I mean, he's had a couple of good looks, but he's just struggling from the field right now, 0 for 5. And if your leading scorer is got zip, and you're only down, 4, you actually feel pretty good.
19 games last year for Evan Gilliard, who steps to the free throw line. The foul on Starks, his first, 7th on CSUN. So 1-1 coming up for Gilliard. He's hit all his free throws this year. He's only shot 2. First free throw is good. He'll get a bonus. Gilliard from Chicago. Played at Simeon High School, legendary high school in Chicago. Alma mater of, among others, Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker, Nick Anderson. And if you haven't yet seen the great ESPN 30 for 30 on Ben Wilson, the great Chicago star who was murdered back in the 80s, that was where it all kind of started. And a left-handed free throw is good by Gilliard. He made them both, and it's a 6-point game. Starks handling in front, down the right side of the lane. Pump fake against McNair, leaves for Brookins left baseline. A reach in and a travel. So Brookins turns it over.
Yeah, Brookins just not quite ready on the offensive end because he's been off so long, because the pass was nice. It was a good pass, and Brookins has got to catch that and just go up strong.
Starks, Anderson, Hendricks, Merk-Veladze, and Brookins on the floor for CSUN. It's Gilliard, Roberts, McNair, Tillman, and McCants out there for New Mexico State. Tillman underneath leans it up and puts it in. Lead back to 8 for New Mexico State. Matadors now scoreless over the last 140. Hendricks to the right wing for Brookins. Jumper off to the left. Defensive rebound, Tillman for New Mexico State. I'm thinking about Gilliard, who played at UTEP. McCants resets. New Mexico State scored the last 4 points of this one. Here's Tillman against Hendricks on the baseline. They were teammates at Utah. McCants straight away. Yes.
And that's a 3. Matadors trailing by 11. I want you to notice, Ghazal, how the Matadors are not taking up the airspace. And all the offense that the Aggies want to run, they're able to run it because they can look. It's easy. Easy airspace, easy shot.
And Merk-Veladze answers back with a 3, ending a 9-0 run for New Mexico State. So Merk-Veladze now with double figures with 11. McCants has 11 for the Aggies. 28-20 New Mexico State with possession. And you're right, AZ. They don't look like a team that hasn't played in 26 games. Right wing 3 for Robert Short. Rebound comes down to Hendricks. Starks left side for CSUN. The screen and roll action. Instead now becomes pick and pop. Starks running the offense on the left side.
He may be running the offense, but no Matador is really moving and cutting.
Brookins, the 15-footer over McNair, yes. So Miles looks like he's rounding into shape a little bit, Allen, after the ACL last year.
It's going to take him some time. He's going to get in shape, that's for sure.
McCants, right wing three. He knew it was off, went and fouled the shot, but Brookins with the rebound for CSUN. So New Mexico State now 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. The Matadors 3 of 11. Starks another 3. Goes down and pops out. So Matadors and Aggies exchanging threes, and now a timeout called by Chris Jans with 4:44 to play here in the first half.
Matadors are going to have to really bow their neck on the defensive end.
Yeah, 6-point lead for New Mexico State. They're 10 of 24 from the floor, about 42%. As Evan Gilliard II brings the ball across the midcourt stripe, swerves to his right, terminates his dribble. Good flash by Tillman, trying to fight through, leaves it off for Lakai, who puts it up and in and one.
Boy, that's a nice take. Or did they call? Yeah, that they couldn't call charge on that because that was a beautiful dribble drive and drop off, and Lakai just made a beautiful finish. The Matadors, they allowed Gilliard to roll the ball up court. He wanted to take a look at where his teammates were. It wasn't just for show. He was looking where everybody was. Then he got into his offense. If you let a solid team do that, they're going to always take advantage of you.
Lakai misses the and one. Defensive rebound, Merck Veladze. Here's Starks into the lane, left side. Strong to the basket. What body control? Put that up and in off the window.
And that's what he needs to do. If your jumper's not falling, get to the rim.
30-24 Aggies with the ball and the lead. Tillman poked away by Hendricks out of bounds, stays with the Aggies. 4:08 remaining here in the first half.
I love Hendricks' activity. I mean, he hasn't played in a long time, and he's out there with a lot of energy and a lot of fight. So Hendricks is bringing some toughness. His offense is going to come around. He's taken a couple of three-pointers. He's not a great three-point shooter, but he's had to take them because they are wide open.
If he can be a focal point, especially on the defensive side, Alan, it really would help the Matadors. So Akarike back. Akarike, the 6'6 freshman, joined on the floor by Herrick, the 6'5 sophomore. Hendricks, Starks, and Brown also out there. So the Matadors go small here. Gilliard to inbound. Left side, Kalen Williams back to Gilliard in the left corner against Darius. Gilliard looks for Tillman against Hendricks. I mentioned they were teammates at Utah. Up and under move, can't finish. Second effort gets up and in by Tillman.
Yeah, but Hendricks is saying, where's my help? I'm defending. How come someone's not trying to help to grab a defensive board?
32-24, 8-point lead for New Mexico State. Starks feeling it. 18-footer, spins down over Kalen Williams.
Yep, all it took was to see the layup go in.
6-point game. Here's Williams for New Mexico State. Quick touch for McNair and a whistle. Tangled up with Tillman was Vontae Hendricks.
Well, two former teammates knowing each other's moves, trying to take something away, and one gets called for a foul.
3:31 to play in the first half. New Mexico State 32, CSUN 26. Back with more Matadors basketball. He was also a teammate of another former Matador. You care to guess which one, AZ?
Nope, I want you to tell me.
First one goes in, so now you get the answer. He'll get a bonus on that. Well, Tillman came into the ballgame, had already shot 14 free throws in his first 2 games. So Tillman now 1 of 2 from the free throw line today. Dances around the rim, no good. Out of bounds, will go over to CSUN. He finished his high school career at Findlay Prep. He and Lamine Genet played together. In fact, they were both honored on the same senior night at Findlay Prep in Vegas.
How about that?
33-26. Matadors trail by 7. Here a little bit of pressure. Williams and Gilliard in the backcourt for New Mexico State, but the Matadors break it. Merck Veladze left corner for Starks. Starks working against McCants. A little bit of a mismatch there. Gets the ball out to Darius Brown in front for CSUN. Brown in front, swings to the right side. 9 left to shoot for the Matadors. High post, Merck Veladze. Fakes the 3, does Starks. TJ finds Herrick. Bounces out, defensive rebound, McNair for New Mexico State. Good defense. That just shows you what New Mexico State does on defense, AZ.
Yeah, that time they just mix it up to fool the Matadors.
Gilliard down the lane, can't finish, and a whistle.
And that time, I believe Okereke got him with the body. So Right now, the Matadors, with 2:46 left in the first half, trailing by 7, and good free throw shooter going to the line.
You know, there's a stat, and I know you don't always like numbers. 23, nearly a quarter of the points scored against the Matadors, Alan, have come from the free throw line. And now you're playing a team in New Mexico State that shoots nearly 77% from the line as a team.
Well, what that tells me, Gazal, is that the Matadors, they're always reaching. They're not playing defense enough with their feet. They're reaching, they're late, and sometimes that has to do with the fact that they are new to each other in a lot of ways. So just not quite on the string yet defensively.
Evan Gilliard comes from good basketball lineage. His uncle played at Loyola of Chicago back in the mid-'80s. Second free throw in and out, so 1 of 2 for Gilliard. Uncle's name was Andre Battle. He wasn't just a player, AZ. He averaged 20 points a game on that team. Matadors down 8. Here's Brown playing catch with Herrick. Now Starks left side. Darius into the lane, trying to arc it over McNair. A big 6'10 arm coming at him. Too short. Defensive rebounder, New Mexico State. They'll work a little bit of clock. Gilliard trying to wheel past Starks. Here's McNair coming out. Quick touch for him off to Kalen Williams. Williams making his debut for the Aggies. Tillman to his right, the runner. Defensive rebound of the Matadors. Here's Starks in transition. On the baseline, kick top of the circle. Merkvaladze for 3. Misfires off to the right. I know you're a big defense guy, AZ. You got to love how the Aggies get back. They knew the Matadors would try to beat them in transition, and they're not really allowing any transition as McNair got tangled up with Okereke, the whistle on the Aggies.
Well, they usually don't allow transition buckets. I mean, Coach Jans, this is where he comes from. That's his bread and butter is defense. And if a guy's not back, and the guards don't rotate and get back in transition, believe me, they'll be sitting next to him. So the Matadors aren't going to get anything easy. You have to run your offense. You have to be patient. But when the shot is there, you also have to make it.
Mayan Kier checks into the ballgame. He is a rim protector, and Darius Brown just found out how well he is as he gets that back in him, but I believe he was fouled before.
Now, Darius has not scored a point in this ballgame, and the Matadors can't win if Darius Brown does not score because they don't have Lance Coleman the second here. And Lance Coleman, the second leading scorer, if you don't have Lance, somebody's got to make up the point differential. And it should be your junior, Darius Brown the second.
Darius, you need to step up for the Matadors. You know, in a game like this one, a team like New Mexico State, they don't just sit back and defend. They come at you. They put pressure on you in every portion of the floor. And so the point guard is pivotal. He is crucial to combating, whether you're in the half court or whether they're pressing you. It's going to fall upon guys like Darius and TJ Starks to navigate against this defense, AZ.
I'm going to go back to my old days. What they do is they test your manhood. They want to find out if you want to play tough or if you just want to allow them to kind of push you around. And they're going to test it until you decide that you're going to push back. It's
like Shoot Told Loudon Swain in Vision Quest. Can you hold your mud? Right corner, McCants for the 3. Air ball. Here with the offensive rebound, goes for the dunk, is denied, and a whistle and a foul on TJ Starks.
Well, I tell you what, Starks did a good thing to foul him because it's better that you foul him and force him to make free throws than give him a slam dunk. Matadors, really, they're fortunate to only be down by 6 right now. Maybe a couple of free throws, they could be down by more. But they really aren't doing anything but hitting a couple of three-pointers, and that's kind of keeping them in it.
Here from Sudan as he spins the first free throw down. I believe that's his first point on the season.
That's why he got such a nice low 5 from his teammate.
Family had to leave Sudan, and him and his family were raised in Australia. Then he prepped at Victory Rock Prep in Bradenton, was all set to go to VCU, but then Will Wade got the LSU job, so he took Kier with him to LSU. Second free throw is good. Lead back out to 8 for the Aggies. Things didn't work out at Baton Rouge. He ended up at South Florida where he played in 2019 before arriving in Las Cruces. Okereke off to Brown. Left wing 3. Off the mark. Defensive rebound Kier for New Mexico State. Gilliard wheeling into the front court. Stops underneath. Enveloped by 3 white shirts to the right wing for Williams. Baseline Tillman. Kurt Walker with a call.
Well, I tell you what, the Matadors are once again reaching and getting fouls called, and now it's 2 free throws, so it's no longer 1-1, and they just can't buy a bucket. I mean, that was an wide open look for Darius Brown II on a 3. He's not able to hit it. You just aren't going to be able to stay in a basketball game if you can't make the shots Division I players are supposed to make at least 50% of the time when you're open. You're not going to hit them 70%. But in a ball game, if you get an open look and it's your shot, you got to be able to make it half the time.
Mentioned Gilliard's uncle, Andre Battle, played for that Loyola Chicago team that made the 85 NCAA tournament, and the first free throw is good for Gilliard. Gilliard, incidentally, since becoming eligible last year, has not yet lost a game at New Mexico State. Became eligible December 19th and played 19 games. They won them all, and they won their 2 they played this year. So he's been there for the whole winning streak. Well,
I think he's looking up at the scoreboard right now, and he's knocked down his free throws to say, it ain't happening today, gentlemen.
Makes them both, and it's a 38-28 lead. Gilliard leaves the floor, replaced by C.J. Roberts, the junior from North Richland Hills, Texas. Comes to New Mexico State from Ranger Community College, where he played for Billy Clyde Gillespie, who's now the head coach at Tarleton State. Gillespie, of course, previously coached UTEP, Texas A&M, and Kentucky. Offensive rebound in and out of the hands of Brookins as he hits the floor off the shot from Starks. And now the Matadors could shoot some free throws.
Yeah, and Starks is looking at his hands as if to say, you're betraying me, hands. I took that shot. That's a shot that normally falls. And their shots are betraying them, Gazal, and it's because of the good defense of the Aggies, of course, because that gets in your head. When you finally get an open look, you kind of rush it.
This is a wrong way trend, AZ, because the last 2 games for the Matadors against Stanford and Cal, they're shooting a collective 35.6% as Miles Brookins sinks the free throw. Thus far against the Aggies, we mentioned are a good defensive team. There's no shame in it, but they're shooting just 11 of 37, just under 30%, as Miles, who's a very good free throw shooter, gets his second opportunity.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. 2 one NAIA program and one that 2 NAIA programs shot almost 40%.
Right.
The Matadors don't shoot better than 44% against this team today at home. That just lets you know it's defense some, but a lot of their offense.
Roberts squaring up against Darius Brown as we tick down under 15 seconds to play in the first half. Trying to keep him in front of him. Roberts to the top of the circle. Roberts through the lane. Over Brookins, put back, no good. The ball still tapped around there, and the Matadors will go to the locker room down 8. Roberts, Gilliard, Tillman, McNair, and McCants on the floor for the Aggies. New Mexico State basketball to start the second half. Evan Gilliard II started his career at UTEP before coming to Las Cruces. Roberts misfires, and Starks leading the break. Leaves for Merck Veladze, rejected by McCants. Aggies now breaking out. Nice little pass to Gilliard, and he's fouled.
Well, that time, Merck Veladze saw a big man. He didn't challenge him. He went up soft. When you see a big man back there, you're going to have to take that ball to his chest and make him block it, or you get a foul called. And that time, he tried to step away from the contact, and McCants just blocked the freshman shot easily.
Well, Gilliard's made a nice living at the free throw line, 5 of 6 in the first half, and he makes it 6 of 7. 19 games last year for New Mexico State, 7.5 points a game, about 2 rebounds in 23 minutes, nearly 4 assists. Shot 70% from the free throw line. In 2019 at UTEP, averaged 13 points in about 33 minutes a game as a starter, and he sinks them both. The lead is 10 for the Aggies, 40-30. Left wing, Herrick pulls up from the baseline, and it's short. Defensive rebound, Tillman for the Aggies.
Well, Herrick is just really struggling. I like the fact that he took a jump shot that was shorter than the three-pointer, but he's got to be able to make that shot.
Left-handed dribble by Gilliard into the post, and now Darius takes it away. Ahead to Starks. TJ fouled by Roberts. Go to the free throw line, will Starks.
Well, the Matadors have to make their free throws, and they're down by 10, and that was really a 4-point swing when Merck Veladze got his layup blocked without getting a chance to go to the free throw line, and then Gilliard hit a couple of free throws. Starks is going to have to score in this second half from the free throw line to get it started.
TJ had 2 very good games against Stanford and Pepperdine and didn't really have much of an effect. He had 13 points against Cal, but a lot of those came late when the game was well out of hand in 27 minutes. No starter in that game. Mark Godfrey kind of called the dogs off after the Matadors fell behind. No starter played more than 27 minutes last Saturday, and Starks makes them both, and it's an 8-point ball game.
Well, this is the kind of game, Gasol, that he and Darius Brown, the second, have to really step up. I mean, they're the 2 juniors that's got the experience.
Right side, this is Roberts. Quick touch for him. Around to McCants. Reset with Gilliard running the offense in front for New Mexico State. Gilliard on Brown. Roberts cycles it to the right side. Tillman's been their big scorer, Allen, in those first 2 games. 5 to shoot. Here's the 3 from Gilliard, left side of the iron. Nearly into McCants' hands, but taken away by Brown. Darius across to Starks. And a block as Roberts trying to draw the charge. That's something he does very well.
Well, he did that very well, and that was as close as you could get. If they called that a charge, I wouldn't have said a thing. So Roberts, a good defender at that time, did a good job defensively, in my opinion, but the Matadors get the call.
Out of high school, he went to Missouri, and there was the coaching change. Ponzo Martin going over there from Cal, and he decided to go the JC route. Went his first year to Broward College in Florida, and then ended up, as we mentioned, at Ranger College, where his coach was Billy Clyde Gillespie. Matadors basketball, they trail by 8. Brown off the inbound, Starks off the curl. Starks in the paint, no. Defensive rebound, McCants for New Mexico State. 8-point lead for the Aggies. They have the ball. This is Williams making his first appearance of the year for New Mexico State. Gold shoes. Gilliard left corner for the Aggies. McCants goes opposite, finds his man. Here's 3. Ooh, that's way off. McCants saves it in right to Herrick. Herrick trying to push middle of the floor. He had Starks. Thought he had an opening. Here's TJ. TJ strong into the lane, trying to drop for Merk Veladze, but McCants mustering some resistance there. Like a goal line stand, just stepping in between Starks and Merk Veladze.
Well, the Aggies are going to close down the middle. They're not going to allow you just to have a free reign to the middle, to the basket. So they're going to close it down. You're going to get some contact, and the bigs do have to be ready for a drop-off pass.
6'4" junior Jason King from Birmingham checks in by way of Snead State Community College. Herrick, straight away, 22-foot 3. Front rim out of bounds. They're going to say, Festus, ball stays with New Mexico State.
Herrick has got to help them. He's just got to make a shot. I mean, he's not made a shot, and I know they're Miss Lance Coleman, but Herrick is a decent shooter, so he's going to really have to help the Matadors by making a bucket or 2.
Yeah, Herrick 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Starks 0 for 4. So those 2 combined 0 for 9. New Mexico State basketball. Gilliard to Williams. Williams on the left side. Goes right past Starks. Left corner, this is King to Tillman. Tillman trying to back down Merk Veladze. Reverses it out to the right side. Scoops it underneath. McNair blows the bunny. Merk Veladze with a defensive rebound, pushing Starks. Starks switches hands, no. Offensive rebound on Demania. He's dispossessed. Ball stays with CSUN.
You know, Herrick has missed so many shots that that time Starks did not pass the ball to him. Starks decided it's better that I try to get a layup because Herrick has not been making shots. And when your teammates do that, that doesn't help your confidence. I would have preferred Starks just said, I'll pass him the ball, and if he misses it, he misses it, but I'll keep his confidence up.
40-32, New Mexico State by 8. 17 minutes straight up remain in regulation. Brown against Gilliard. Right wing, he'll go to Herrick. Dribble handoff back to Darius. Under 10 to shoot. Right wing 3 for Darius. That misfires.
I'm seeing something that I don't like, Gasol. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at the body language of T.J. Starks. T.J. Starks did not really get back that time. The play was run, and he was upset that the ball didn't come to him. And that is not a good sign for the Matadors. I hope the coaching staff saw it. They might need to call timeout.
Tillman back the other way with the bucket for the Aggies, lead back to 10. Nice backdoor cut by Starks, who powers it down.
Wow. Well, that'll make him happy.
Festus with a dish. 42-34, Aggies by 8. Williams Gilliard on the floor with King, Tillman, and McNair for the Aggies. This is Donnie Tillman. The sweep through move and gets fouled by Merk Veladze. Second foul on the Matadors. Alex will pick up his third. Herrick leaves the floor in favor of Vontae Hendricks. Hendricks, the 6'5" redshirt junior. And Miles Brookins, the 6'9" redshirt junior from Mater Dei, checks in. King leaves for New Mexico State. Johnny McCants back. He's the redshirt senior. Local kid. Family legacy in the city of Las Cruces. Inbound deflected out of bounds. Stays with the Aggies.
Yeah, that's a nice deflection that time. I think that was by Hendricks.
New Mexico State up 8 with the ball. Merk Veladze has to leave after picking up his third foul. So Undemania, Brookins on the floor with Hendricks, Starks, and Darius Brown the second for CSUN. Gilliard underneath the basket. This is McNair. Hands it right back to Gilliard. Brown playing him hard. Here's the screen from Tillman around to the right side. Nice pass from McNair, and Tillman can't finish. Rebound comes down to the Matadors. Vontae Hendricks definitely altered that shot from the top, and a whistle and a foul. I believe Brookins gets fouled on the play. 42-34. Brookins, Brown on the floor for CSUN. Undemania, Starks, and Vontae Hendricks making his Matadors debut. Starks over to Hendricks. Right corner, Starks for CSUN. Nice hedge there by Tillman. 18-footer. Left side of the rim, no. Offensive rebound by Darius. Blows the bunny. Defensive rebound, Tillman for the Aggies.
Well, you can't get two easier shots than the Matadors just had.
McCants finds Gilliard. And a whistle and a foul on the Matadors. That'll be on Darius.
Darius Brown had a chance to kiss that ball off the glass or just put it in softly, and he made it short. That lets me know that right now the Matadors offensively don't have confidence in their shot-making ability. Darius Brown will make that shot 9 out of 10 times.
42-34, Aggies with the ball and the lead. Gilliard. McCants was a sharpshooter in the first half, has yet to score here in the second half. Gilliard to the rim. No. A lot of layups being missed on both sides, Alan.
A lot of layups being missed and some offense not being run by the Matadors. A lot of one-on-one.
Maybe a little bit too much figgy pudding in the Christmas dinner. Left-handed fallback. Yes, Starks with a 15-footer.
Yeah, he made the shot, but that's not the offense they want to run. You're not going to be able to beat this Aggie squad if you decide to go 1-on-5. But it was a nice make.
10 points for Starks. Matadors now have 2 in double figures. Here's Williams. Spins the ball into the paint. What a job by Brookins. Fronting his man, getting around and taking that ball away. Turnover. Left wing 3 from Starks. Back iron bounds out. Couple of guys touch it. It'll go to Mexico State. Vontae Hendricks said he didn't touch it.
I don't think he did touch it.
Aggies have the ball, and they have a 6-point lead with 14:23 to play in regulation.
Starks took a jump shot that he made. Then he came down kind of a 1-on-3 and took another 3-point jump shot. Starks is not running the offense, and that's not like him. He's usually very unselfish. He normally wants to run the offense, but I think he's disappointed in his teammates right now.
Nearly stolen by Brookins. Here's McCants strong to the hoop. The reverse, no good. They'll get Vontae Hendricks on the foul.
The Matadors right now, as a team, aren't playing together, Gazal. I only point this out because I have to. I always watch players to see who seems like they're engaged, who seems like they understand what they need to do. And right now, the Matadors look frustrated. And they can only be frustrated because they're missing shots, because defensively they're not doing bad. And yes, some nights shots won't fall, but you don't give up on the other end.
So the second on Hendricks for the Matadors, the fourth on CSUN. McCants steps to the line. Was a 54% shooter last year. Coming into the game, he was 2 of 4, and he sinks that one. His first free throw attempt. That's his first point here in the second half. McNair sits down. Mayan Kier back, the 6'9" redshirt junior from the Sudan by way of South Florida. Second free throw coming. And McCants makes them both. Back to an 8-point lead for the Aggies. Hendricks on the right wing. Hendricks explodes to the basket and draws the foul. And that's something the Matadors have been lacking. They haven't had the explosion. I mean, we were spoiled the last 2 years with Lamine Genet when basically he catch the ball on the wing and he could get by anybody and draw a foul. And Hendricks just did that. 3rd foul on McCants, 5th foul on the Aggies. This is Darius Brown. Starks. Starks lights up the 3. Off to the left, no. Gilliard dancing. Looking for the backdoor cut. This is Keir. Keir will dribble in. And a whistle, a travel.
Right now, Starks is just, he's taking his shots, but he's frustrated with himself because the shots aren't falling. So what he probably should do is try once again to get inside and go to the hole. TJ Starks he's the Matadors' engine. They need him to play like TJ Starks, and when he doesn't, the Matadors don't have a ghost of a chance of winning.
Coming into the game, Herrick was 33% from beyond the arc. Starks was 15 to 31. He was nearly 15%. Between the two of them, they're 0 of 11 from three-point distance. Matadors down 8, under 14 minutes to play in regulation. Darius Brown on the right angle. Amon Anderson, the 6'3 freshman from Lusinger, has just checked in for CSUN. High post, left side. Brookins has played well. Right wing, Hendricks for 3. No, but he draws the foul, and 3 free throws coming up for Vontae Hendricks.
Well, they ran the offense that time and got a good look and got a foul out of it. And now Hendricks, he's got to be nervous because he's made a dunk, but he's not been able to make any jump shots. So let's see how he looks with these free throws if he's able to knock down a couple. He's got 3. I'd like for him to at least make 2.
Hendricks, 18 games last year for New Mexico, averaged 8.7 points and 3.7 rebounds. 71% free throw shooter. Yes. Second free throw coming. And he'll get a 3rd. Last year spent with New Mexico. In 2019, he mentioned he played with Utah, where he was teammates with Donnie Tillman of New Mexico State. King leaves the game. C.J. Roberts back for New Mexico State, junior from Texas. 3 free throws go down. It's a 5-point ball game. Matadors need to play some defense. Roberts, Gilliard in the backcourt. Lakai has checked back in as well, along with Tillman and Kalen Williams. So Chris Jant's going 3 guards here. Tillman into the left corner for Lakai. This is Gilliard for New Mexico State. They lead by 5. Brookins trying to keep Tillman in front of him. 4 on the shot clock. Gilliard with the runner. Catches the rebound and a violation. The ball didn't hit the rim. Roberts thinks it did. I think it hit the backboard and not the rim.
Well, the Matadors grabbed the rebound, so that's actually a break for the Aggies because the Matadors had a chance to get a 5-on-4 fast break going.
New Mexico State, shooting 32.5% thus far. The Matador is down on the quagmire at 26.5%. So neither team, there's nothing to write home about for either team in terms of shooting. Here's the lob to Andamania, catches it on the way down, and then he can't finish. Ball stays with New Mexico State. Festus trying to draw the charge. Up the left side is Gilliard. Into the corner, Lakai, right of center. Here's Tillman for 3. Front rim, no. Hendricks in the open floor. Hendricks all the way down. Offensive foul.
That's not a good call there. That wasn't a charge. He didn't get set, and he took it on the shoulder as opposed to in the chest. So that was a call I believe the officials missed.
That was Robert Lehigh, who we don't see a lot here at the Matadome. Chris Radsatter and Kurt Walker we see all the time.
Yeah. Robert, I think that time just went with the fact that the gentleman fell, but I believe that time it should have been a block.
New Mexico State up 5 with the basketball. And then they'll get Darius on a foul.
Well, that'll be 1-1, won't it? Because they put that foul up unless they put it up very, very quickly.
Looks like it's the 6th foul.
Boy, they put that up fast.
Tillman and McNair back, the 6'10" sophomore back for New Mexico State, William McNair. Right wing to Gilliard. Lakai. Roberts. Lobs it underneath for the big fella. Maybe got away with the travel.
No,
he didn't get away with it.
He didn't get away with it. He sure tried it, though.
Breaking the action, under 12 minutes to play in regulation. CSUN down 5. They'll get the ball when we come back. 44-39, New Mexico State leads the Matadors. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network. Gilliard will escort Darius up the floor for New Mexico State. Brown to the right wing. And stolen by Roberts. All the way in and blows the layup. Matadors back the other way. It'll be a tough film to watch for both teams. In the lane hanging is Darius Brown, and he sinks the 8-footer to bring the Matadors to within 3.
That was the most aggressive play that Darius Brown has done today. And the Matadors are fortunate. That's a 4-point swing because that layup should have been made by the Aggies.
Gilliard, Roberts on the floor with Tillman, Lakai, and McNair. This is Tillman underneath to his left, and he's stripped, and the Matadors come away with the ball. Undemania nearly turns it over. Here's Anderson. Here's the pull-up. Misfires. Fighting for the rebound is Lakai. Takes it away from Undemania. New Mexico State with the ball on a 3-point lead. Roberts, left wing 3. Air ball into the hands of Hendricks. Hendricks lobs it ahead for Anderson. Trying to get it back to Undemania. Matadors turn it over.
Right now it's just a young freshman just making some bad decisions, and you have to make the right decision, but Hendricks is definitely making the right decisions. So right now, Hendricks, this is his first game. He's playing with a lot of energy, and he's playing with good IQ for a basketball player.
Both teams shorthanded. New Mexico State missing 2 key players. Jabari Rice, their WAC Player of the Year candidate, is out with a stress fracture. Right wing, this is Roberts. Right baseline, McNair. Little drop step move against Okereke, and the hook shot is short. Comes up into the hands of Vontae Hendricks for CSUN. Matadors down 3, trying to get closer. Left wing 3 from Vontae Hendricks. Skips over the rim, tapped out by Undemania, and a whistle and a foul on the Matadors.
That's 1-1, and Hendricks, that 3-point shot is going to fall, and that was a nice pass that he got from Darius Brown II. So Darius got him a good look. He's not able to make it, but that's what you like to see. For the Matadors, it's really, look, they want to win the ball game, but they want to play better than they did in the first half. And right now they're starting to at least play a little bit better. Offensively, they're sharing the ball. And you know what? TJ Starks is not in the game. And I'm not blaming TJ, but TJ got frustrated and took a couple of bad shots. And now the Matadors are forced to use other people to score.
Wilfred Lakai missed last year with an injury, AZ, the 6'9" redshirt junior out of Portland by way of Casper College. His JC coach is a gentleman named Dan Russell. Sinks the first one to make it a 4-point lead. You have something in common with Dan Russell. You have a friend in common, I should say.
Professional player or not?
Misses the second free throw. Dan Russell is now an assistant at Montana State.
Oh, Danny Sprinkle.
45-41 after the second free throw is missed by Lakai. Hendricks on the right wing for CSUN. High post Okereke playing with 4 fouls. And they'll foul Fidelis, so he'll get some free throws.
Was it Fidelis they fouled or Festus? One of those Fs got fouled.
I guess you were right. I guess it was Festus. So Festus fouled by Donnie Tillman, his 3rd. And now the Matadors in the 1+1. Wow. that was like donut filled with Novocaine. It rolled off the back iron, just dropped through. That didn't look pretty, but it counts like a swish in the scoreboard.
And you know what? It doesn't even taste sweet, but it does the job,
there
right?
You go. 45-42, the Matadors to within 3. Okereke sits down with 4 fouls. Alex Merkvaladze back for the Matadors. 11 points and 7 rebounds for the freshman from Modesto Christian. Second free throw. That bricks out for Festus. Knocked around, and McNair, all 6'10" of him, comes away with it for New Mexico State. Gilliard is going to hold it out on the right side. The kid from Chicago by way of UTEP. He'll go all the way to the rim. What a take. 2 and 1.
He fooled Darius that time. He's a left-hander and decided, look, you know what? The right side is wide open.
Right.
So he went hard to his right and was able to get all the way to the rim. Help defense was late.
Never lost as an Aggie has Evan Gilliard II. So I mentioned we talk about defense all the time. So Andre Battle, his uncle, played for Loyola Chicago back in the 80s, 81 to 85. He was teammates with Alfrederick Hughes. That was a really prolific scoring team. Is a little confusion there. Gilliard hit the free throw, and now Starks back into the ball game. That team, Allen, averaged about 85 points a game. They went and had to play Patrick Ewing Georgetown in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and were held to 54 as Darius misses the shot. Here's Gilliard back the other way against Merck Veladze. He can't finish, but put it back up and in by Lakai.
Well, the Matadors right now are struggling because of the good defense, and boy, that's they had a chance to get it to within 2, and now they're down by 8.
50 to 42, under 10 minutes to play in regulation, and Mark Gottfried wants to talk it over here at 9:18 remaining in the second half year. 50 to 42, Matadors trail by 8 here against the Aggies. The 2021 version. Starks nearly loses it. TJ backs off on the dribble. Back to the basket, Undemania, and a whistle.
Well, TJ Starks that time did not just throw up a three-point shot. He decided he wanted to run the offense, and because he did, he got fouled. Sometimes by just running the offense and making them guard you a little bit longer, you can get a better shot, maybe get fouled, put somebody in foul trouble. Now TJ needs to knock down a couple of free throws to stop this run.
He's been a very good free throw shooter this year, 24 of 30, and misses the front end of the 1-and-1 defensive rebound. Tillman for New Mexico State. Aggies with the ball up 8. Gilliard waiting for the screen to his right. Roberts cycles it to the left side for Lakai. Lakai off to Gilliard, left wing three is good.
He got a chance to get to his left that time, and no one helped. That time there's a hedger. When you get screened, someone has to hedge. There was no hedge, wide open three-point shot for Gilliard.
Lead swells to 11, an 8-0 run over the last minute and 20 seconds for the Aggies. Starks into the lane for CSUN. Starks left hand to the hoop and one.
Another left-hander being able to go left. The Matadors right now are playing like a team that does not believe that they're going to be able to win this ball game. I say that because they're not intense on the defensive end. When your offense is not clicking, then you just bow your neck on the defensive end. But they tend to want to be able to get started defensively through their offense. And today they just aren't making enough shots to do that.
Starks with a miss earlier, and that goes off the back iron. So 2 straight misses for Starks from the free throw line. The Matadors have now missed 3 straight free throws after making their first 11 in this one. 53-44, New Mexico State up by 9.
New Mexico State's going to run a little clock. They want to run a little clock because they don't believe the Matadors can score enough on them to come back down 9.
Tillman, left corner. Lakai for 3, that's short. McNair lumbering through there, comes up with the basketball, and it's a timeout called by the New Mexico State bench. Good hustle play there by William McNair. That was a loose ball the Matadors needed to get it.
Exactly. Yep. You know, it's tough being a leader. When you're the leader, everything goes through you, and Starks is a leader. And when you're the leader, when you have a down day, it seems like everybody does. But the good thing is there's another game. Starks is going to come through. There's not a better player on the basketball floor than T.J. Starks, and the Matadors need him just to be himself.
Gilliard, Williams, Tillman, McNair, and McCants on the floor for the Aggies. Williams flings it up, misses the shot, trying to dunk it is Tillman. He misses the jam, and the rebound to Undemania for CSUN. Here's Starks slicing through the lane. What a nice move, and he gets called on an offensive foul. Stepping in and drawing the charge, I believe that was McCants, and now they're gesturing that he was inside the parabola. Mark Gottfried not happy with the call.
They're going to check, though, to see if he's inside the parabola, aren't they?
And this time Chris Radsfeder made the call, so he knows this team very well. Now Mark Gottfried's still kind of beside himself.
Well, the Matadors had a chance, and I like the fact that Starks was very aggressive, but it was kind of 1-on-4 is all.
I mean, he wasn't out of – I thought he was pretty controlled.
He wasn't out of control, yeah. But the defenders were back because we know the Aggies are a good transition defensive
team.
Yeah,
they are. 3rd on Starks, 9th on the Matadors. Williams off to Gilliard, who's been masterful, particularly in the second half, Allen. Right of center, McCants was a big score in the first half. Kind of cooled off here in the second half. Everybody's kind of cool. Under 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 5 on the clock. McCants' step back 3. Yes.
He stepped back and kicked his foot out and hit it. That's when you know it's your day.
12-point lead for the Aggies. High post, left side. Undemania back to Darius Brown. Matadors have had a couple of runs in them this game. One in the first, one in the second half. They need another one here as they're now down double digits. Starks navigating. Left corner three for Darius. Yes!
That's nice to see it go. Doesn't matter what happens in this ball game, but Darius Brown has to get going offensively, and it's nice to see him make that shot.
Darius drains the three. He's got 7 to go with his 7 assists. Matador is now down 9. New Mexico State basketball. This is Gilliard on the left side across to Williams. And McCants looking for the three. Yes.
Wow. Guess they better get out on him. He turned and looked to the scoring table as if to say, but nobody's over here that doesn't like you, Mr. McCants. We all like you.
59-47. Top of the circle. Brown for three. Misfires to the right side. Defensive rebound. McCants for New Mexico State. Gilliard loses the basketball. Resets with McCants for New Mexico State. We near 6 minutes to play in regulation. Deep NBA three off the front rim for Gilliard. Starks ahead of the field to Hendricks. Acting funny and he don't know why, but he lays it up and in.
That was a very nice outlet pass by Starks. Good chest pass, right on the money.
Good find by Starks to Hendricks for the bucket. Lead 10 for New Mexico State. Evan Gilliard II advances into the front court. High post attacking is Tillman. Can't finish. Offensive rebound, though, back to Donnie Tillman. Reverse layup, underside of the rim, rejects him, and finally, Festus Undemania comes away with it. Hendricks ahead to Brown, across to Undemania. Festus one dribble, strong to the basket, spins it in.
That was a nice, strong finish that time by Festus. Went through contact.
Matadors trimmed the lead to 8, nearing 5 minutes to play in regulation. Aggies are going to be content just to keep it slow.
Oh, yeah, and the Matadors are in a zone, so they're going to just run clock.
Into the lane, Williams trying to drop it off. The ball on the floor. Getting on the floor for it is Hendricks. Starks ahead of the field. Here's TJ. Loses the handle momentarily. Regains it on the wing. Hendricks, wide open three. Rattles the iron, no, but Darius Brown with the offensive rebound. Matadors basketball, they trail by 8. Starks resetting for CSUN against McCants. Poked away with McCants, and TJ will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, McCants said, my arms were long enough, Mr. Official, that I did not create contact. And he might be right.
4th foul on Johnny McCants, so go to the bench. King off the bench along with Roberts for the Aggies. Herrick waiting to check in for CSUN.
You know, the Aggies kind of slowing it down on the offensive end when they are attacking the Matadors. Maybe they want to just get back to running their offense because the Matadors had not done a great job of stopping them when they ran their offense all the way through. So I think they don't want to take the air out of the ball.
So Jason King back, the 6'4 junior for New Mexico State, and then C.J. Roberts checks back in. He's also a junior college transfer for the Aggies, on the floor with McNair, Tillman, and Gilliard. First free throw was good for Starks to cut the lead to 7. Second free throw coming for TJ, the left-handed shooter. And that's nothing but net. So the Matadors had missed 3 straight free throws, and Starks sinks a pair to make the lead 6. 59-53 Aggies with the ball. Tillman to Gilliard. Gilliard against Brown to his right. 10 to shoot for New Mexico State. Gilliard will leave in the left side. 6 to shoot. This is King. King dribbling around against Hendricks. Fall away. Over the backboard. Violation, Matadors basketball.
Well, they don't have Pants out there to camp in the corner to make three-pointers, so now they're struggling. The Matadors made the adjustment defensively by going to a zone. Plenty of time left for the Matadors to get back in this.
59-53, CSUN down by 6. Brown looking inside. Drops it off to Brookins, back to Darius. Skips left corner. Starks for 3. Front rim, no. Rebound, caroms off of McNair into the hands of Roberts. Roberts quickly the other way. Against Hendricks, he finishes good, well. Roberts with a strong finish against Fonte Hendricks. Starks triple teamed, back to Brown. Starks right corner. 3.
Not been able to hit that three-pointer as Starks.
Darius Brown pokes it away. TJ Starks comes up with it. Darius all the way to the rim will lay it up and in on the turnover. Bring the lead back to 6 for New Mexico State. And a timeout on the floor. Tillman went down. He's sitting up. They'll have the basketball. McCants back into the ball game for New Mexico State. It's Herrick, Starks, Brown on the floor with Vontae Hendricks and Miles Brookins for CSUN. C.J. Roberts, Evan Gilliard II, Johnny McCants, Jason King, and William McNair on the floor for the Aggies. McNair reverses to the left side, wide open 3. Short front rim, tapped out by Hendricks, saved in by Starks. Can't quite save it. He grabbed the basketball, and it'll stay with New Mexico State. They'll have 11 seconds to get a shot up.
Yeah, that time it was I tell you what, it's just all the little things that happen. Lakey just did a good job of tapping that ball out and getting another opportunity to score and take time off the clock.
I thought it was McNair.
Was it McNair?
McNair.
Well, wow, that was a long arm that got up and snapped that ball out of the air.
Right wing Roberts for New Mexico State. They lead by 6. Left corner King attacking. Shut off with 5 seconds to shoot. Left wing 3 McCants. Short off the front rim. Defensive rebound deflected by Hendricks, and here's Brown. Brown stops at the free throw line, off to Herrick, and they'll reset with Darius. Ticking down the 2.5 minutes remaining. Matadors down 6. Hendricks looking inside. Posting up is Brookins. Brookins against McNair. He's quickly double-teamed by McCants. Miles needs some help trying to scoop it through. Right corner, Brown lets go for 3, and he hit it.
Boy, they needed their junior point guard to knock that down. He's made 2 3-pointers. It's a 3-point ball game with 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in regulation.
2-3 look for the Matadors. You know how good Starks is? If the Matadors can get production out of Darius offensively, it just makes them such a better team, and Chris Jans wants to talk it over. King, Gilliard, Roberts on the floor along with McCants and McNair for New Mexico State. McCants lobs it for McNair, who jams it. Excuse me, that's Tillman. Tillman jams it home.
That's just a great play against his own defense.
63-58. McCants feeds Tillman. Matadors basketball, they're down 5, under 2 minutes to play. Here's Hendricks strong to the basket.
They should count that if it was in the NBA, but they won't do it in college.
Just what a twitch move he has when he gets the ball. And that's 3 times he's tried that move. And this is a good defensive team, and he's been able to get by them.
Now, you want to talk about X's and O's. That out-of-timeout play was designed to get that lob, and no one thought it was coming because they were swinging that ball around the perimeter, set a back pick, and threw that ball towards the rim. That's why they paid Coach Jans the big bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
He can coach a little bit, can he?
Oh, boy, can he. And the fact that he's probably looking at his team right now and saying to himself, this is a good test for us. I'm glad that we're facing this type of test.
So Vontae Hendricks in his debut, 7 points in 27 minutes, and more importantly, he's hit all 3 of his free throws. He's also got 4 rebounds on the game, and the first one goes through swish. It was the 10th foul on New Mexico State, so he'll get 2. Jason King fouled out of the ball game. Well known that Chris Jans apprenticed under Greg Marshall at Wichita State, but before that, he was an assistant at Illinois State with Porter Moser, who's now at Loyola.
Small world, isn't it?
63-60 as Hendricks makes them both. Matadors need a defensive stand. 90 ticks left, clock churning. Roberts to Gilliard. Gilliard has been effective. High screen from McCants into the paint to Tillman against Brookins. Using his shoulder, can't finish. Good job by Brookins to be big, keep his hands up and not foul. Matadors with the ball, down 3. Darius circles to the right wing. Popping out is Hendricks. Vontae, yes.
Oh, he drove to the basket just like the coaches designed it.
Under a minute to play, Matadors trail by 1. Aggie 63-62, CSUN on a 9-2 run, and Chris Jans calls timeout for New Mexico State with just under 52 seconds remaining in this one. I think you go with what's working. Roberts, he's the 5th man on the floor for the Aggies. Right wing, this is Gilliard. Gilliard from the corner. It's going to be short. Comes down into the hands of Starks for CSUN. So 15-second differential between shot and game clock. Matadors down 1, 63-62. Timeout, Mark Godfrey.
Smart
Miles Brookins had his man pinned. He had his man in a pin-down situation. Brown, Herrick, Starks on the floor with Vontae Hendricks and Miles Brookins. Here's Vontae in front against Tillman into the right corner. 3 for Starks, and he hit it.
How about that? 0 for 8 until it was big time. Now they got to get a stop.
2-point lead for CSUN. 15 seconds to play. They go underneath to the big fella. McNair blows the layup. Ahead to Starks from Brown. And Starks gets tripped by McCants. He'll go to the free throw line. And the Matadors are going to try to salt this away with 8 seconds to play.
Do they have to call a breakaway foul when he's all the way ahead and he gets tripped from behind? Is that where the Matadors get to keep the ball? Let's see if the officials are going to call that a breakaway, and I think they should.
Now, that's on McCants, so that adds another wrinkle here, is if they miss some free throws, they no longer have the shooting prowess of Johnny McCants on the floor, the hometown hero from Las Cruces.
Well, a couple of free throws need to be made, and it looks like what they're going to do is they're going to bring in a three-point shooter.
Bryce Rewalt checks in. Rewalt is he's a grad student out of Las Cruces, Centennial High. He was a manager and a marketing rep for the basketball team, played high school at Centennial High, was teammates with Tennessee Owens, who's also a member of the Las Cruces team, but had an injury. And kind of recovered from the injury, said, I'm just going to go to school. His first year, he said he missed basketball, so he became a marketing rep for the team. Second year, he was a manager. By the third year, his buddy had transferred. Tennessee Owens had transferred back to New Mexico State and convinced him to walk on, and he's legit three-point shooter.
Yeah, I watched him play, and I saw him knock down the three, and his teammates have a lot of confidence in him, and obviously the coach does to put him in. He's not played at all to stick him in the game and possibly run a play to have him get a three-pointer.
So McCant's done with fouls. So coming out for the Aggies, Gilliard, Roberts, Tillman, McNair, and Rewalt. For the Matadors, Starks to the line on the floor with Brown, Hendricks, Brookins, and Herrick.
Well,
you mentioned Starks, that three he hit, AZ, to give the Matadors the lead. His first three on the afternoon.
Yeah, he was 0 of 8, and I guess he was due.
So the first free throw goes through, nothing but net, a three-point game. Again, the foul on McCants, he's done. Matadors trying to remember defensive assignments here in the event Starks doesn't make this one. Second free throw is off, a three-point lead. Here comes Gilliard. Looking for Tillman. Deep three from the left wing. Misfires, and for the first time since December 14th of 2019, the Aggies in the loss column, the Matadors knock off New Mexico State 66-63 AZ. They end the game on an 8-0 run.
And Starks, I'm going to say something, ladies and gentlemen. Starks just got a hug from Coach Godfrey. Everyone knew that Starks was upset with himself. Something wasn't right about him. And he hit that three-pointer. He made the free throw. And the Matadors can feel really good that their leader, their most aggressive player, is back.